Today we will be talking about Ryan Poston's grisly murder at the hands of his on and off girlfriend, Shayna Hubers. I remember hearing about this case when it first broke in 2012, and then again in 2018 when Shayna Hubers had her retrial. I was living in Kentucky in 2018, and for a while this was big news. Ryan was a successful lawyer, triple major graduate from Indiana University, and had his whole life ahead of him. Shayna, on the other hand, was an academically gifted young woman who became increasingly obsessed with Ryan. This story of obsession, manipulation, and murder shocked the nation, and we will delve into the details of this case. Ryan Carter Poston was born on December 30th, 1982, in Fort Mitchell, Kentucky. He attended schools in the Philippines and Switzerland, and then Indiana University, where he triple majored in history, geography, and political science. He later completed law school at Northern Kentucky University and worked as an attorney in Cincinnati, Ohio. Shayna Michelle Hubers was born on April 8, 1991, in Lexington, Kentucky. Described as academically gifted, she was obsessed with school and often took advanced placement AP classes, earning A's. She was also involved in extracurricular activities such as cheerleading and theater. After graduating from high school, Hubers attended the University of Kentucky and graduated cum laude in 3 years. She went on to pursue a master's degree in school counseling from Eastern Kentucky University. Ryan Poston and Shayna Hubers started dating in 2011 after connecting on Facebook. However, their relationship quickly turned toxic as Ryan tried to pull away and Shayna became more obsessed with him. Ryan's friends noticed that Shayna was overly infatuated with him, and the couple kept breaking up and getting back together. Shayna would send dozens of text messages in response to every message Ryan sent and would often show up unannounced at his condo. Ryan expressed fear for his safety to his cousin and Facebook friends. While some of Ryan's neighbors thought he was playing mind games with Shayna, Shayna began to have negative feelings toward Ryan, admitting to a friend that her love for him had turned to hate and that she had thought about shooting him while at a gun range. Those close to Ryan claimed that Shayna was obsessed with him and would ask people if they thought she was prettier than his ex-girlfriend. Poston's friends also stated that Shayna had a goal of making Poston settle down with her, and when she wasn't successful, it became a problem. Ryan had messaged Shayna to break up with her in February 2012, but she resisted and claimed that she loved him more than he deserved. In March, Ryan begged Shayna to stop texting him, and in April, he said that he no longer had the patience to deal with her. Despite breaking up, they got back together in the summer, but in August, Ryan texted her, warning he was turning off his phone and padlocking the door. Shayna bombarded him with over 100 messages until Ryan responded, telling her to stop. Shayna still had a key to Ryan's condo, though. On October 12, 2012, Ryan had arranged to go on a date with Miss Ohio, Audrey Bolte. However, before he left his apartment, Shayna showed up, and the two had an argument, and Shayna shot Ryan 6 times. Shayna waited for 10-15 minutes before calling 911 and gave inconsistent accounts of the incident to the police. During interrogation, she repeatedly talked about the incident, despite asking for an attorney. Shayna claimed she shot Ryan in self-defense, but also admitted to shooting him 6 times, claiming she did not want to watch him die and gave him the nose job he wanted. She also sang, danced, and wondered if anyone would marry her if they knew she had killed her boyfriend. Shayna's behavior was considered bizarre by investigators, and her inconsistent accounts and inability to remain silent raised suspicion. Her references to self-defense, coupled with her admission to shooting Poston multiple times, were contradictory, and her comments about Ryan's vanity and giving Poston the nose job he desired by shooting him in the face raised questions about her motives. In December 2012, Shayna Hubers was indicted for the murder of Ryan Poston. She pleaded not guilty in January 2013 and remained in jail since she was unable to pay bail. The trial began 2.5 years later in April 2015, with prosecutors claiming that Shayna killed Ryan because he wanted to end their relationship. Shayna's defense argued that she acted in self-defense and that she was a victim of domestic abuse. The prosecution presented text message evidence showing Shayna's obsession with Ryan, and several witnesses testified for the prosecution. Shayna did not take the stand, but relied on her police interrogation tape to argue that the killing was in self-defense. On April 23, 2015, Shayna was found guilty after 5 hours of jury deliberation. The jury recommended a 40-year prison sentence, which Shayna's attorneys contested, asking for a new trial and to recognize her as a victim of domestic violence. 4 months later, Shayna was sentenced to 40 years in prison, with the presiding judge stating that he did not believe she was a victim of domestic violence and had considered a longer sentence. Shayna Hubers appealed her conviction, and her appeal was granted due to a juror concealing a felony conviction. Her second trial was set to begin on September 18, 2017, but was delayed for 4 months to January 16, 2018, and her new attorney was granted a 6-month delay to prepare. In her second trial, she gave details of her physical relationship with Ryan, and the defense argued that Ryan was abusive. She was found guilty again and sentenced to life imprisonment with the possibility of parole. She would have to serve 17 years before she can be considered for parole in 2032. At the sentencing hearing for her second trial, prosecution attorney Michelle Snodgrass said in court that Shayna had sent the judge a letter of apology, but had never expressed any remorse to Ryan's family. Jay Poston, Ryan's father, said during the hearing that it was daunting to know that I've got another 30 or 40 years on this earth. God willing, I'll have another 35 or 40 Christmases without my son. And my grandchildren were stolen from me. I will never hold my grandchildren. She has decimated my life and many other lives. In June 2018, while Shayna Hubers was still in jail, she married Richard McBee, a fellow inmate at Campbell County Jail in Kentucky. McBee had previously spent 14 years in federal custody and was awaiting trial for an unrelated robbery charge in Campbell County. Later, Richard McBee would identify as a woman and change her name to Unique Taylor. I want to be respectful of Unique's gender identity, and the only reason for using her former name is for the sake of accuracy. It's unclear whether she came out before or after her marriage to Shayna. There are very few details about their relationship, and in March 2019, Shayna filed for divorce from Unique. As of writing the script for this video, Shayna Hubers is incarcerated at the Kentucky Correctional Institution for Women and still has to serve 9 more years before becoming eligible for parole. Have you ever had a romantic partner who became obsessed with you? How did you deal with it? Let me know in the comments. I would love to hear what you have to say. Also, consider giving this video a like if you liked it. That really helps with the algorithm. Additionally, consider subscribing to the channel for more true crime. Till next time, signing off. This has been Christina.